April 20th, 2015 from Comerica Park in Detroit, Michigan. It was the New York Yankees versus the Detroit Tigers. And on the mound for the Yankees, Sabathia. And on the mound for the Tigers, Alfredo Simon. We saw quite the pitching duel in this game. But in the top of the second, Teixeira led off with a home run, and that made it 1-0 Yankees. Simon would then strike out Beltran. He led up a double to McCann, but then he struck out Headley and struck out Drew. So he had 3 strikeouts in the inning, although he did allow a home run and then a double. So it's 1-0 after 1.5 innings, and CC was just mowing him down. He was going through the lineup, not allowing any runs until all the way in the bottom of the 7th. It started off with Davis getting a single to lead off the inning. Kinsler then flied out, but Davis was able to tag up and go to second. So now Cabrera was up. He grounded out. And so now that brought up Victor Martinez. They intentionally walked him 4 straight pitches. And that brought up J.D. Martinez, who's been red hot. Martinez gets a single. Davis scored. Victor Martinez goes to second. So you had 2 Martinezes on the bases, one on first, one on second for Cespedes. And Cespedes with the single. That brings in Victor Martinez. JD goes to third, and that made it 2-1 Tigers over the Yankees. And of course, the Yankees would get out of the inning, but it was 2-1, and now the Tigers were in the lead, and they would end up setting down the Yankees in the top half of the 8th, and they wouldn't put up any more runs in the bottom of the 8th. So now in the top of the 9th, they would bring in the closer, Joakim Soria, and Soria would be facing Gardner, Rodriguez, and Teixeira, so it's pretty much the meat of the lineup there. And you got Gardner to ground out, then A-Rod flies out, and so does Teixeira. And this game comes to a close as Soria picks up the save. Simon gets the win. Sabathia on the line for the loss. Well, Sabathia pitched 8 innings and only allowed 2 runs. He hadn't allowed any runs until that bottom of the 7th. And the Tigers come through big late in the game. Sabathia only allowed 7 hits, 3 walks, struck out 5. Simon pitched 7 1/3 innings, 1 earned run, 7 hits, and 7 strikeouts. He didn't walk anyone. Then Joba Chamberlain came in. He pitched 2/3 of an inning and set down both batters. Came up big. He got the double play, actually. And then Soria in the 9th inning pitched the 9th, 1 inning. No hits, no earned runs, and he got all 3 batters, a ground out and 2 flyouts. So a nice outing by the bullpen for Detroit. And the only extra base hit was the home run by Teixeira and the double by McCann. That was for the Yankees. No extra base hits for the Tigers. Davis 1 for 4. He did score. Martinez walked and scored. He was 0 for 2, though, in the game. And J.D. Martinez 1 for 3 with an RBI, and Cespedes 1 for 3 with an RBI as well. Both teams only had 7 hits, but it was very timely hitting in the bottom of the 7th for Detroit, as they were able to finally get on CC once he had gone through the lineup a few times, and they got on him, and they were able to get on the scoreboard, put up those 2 runs, and they get the win. And the Tigers are now 11-2 on the season, 6-1 at home, as they have the best record in baseball. So the final score, Detroit 2, New York 1.